sergeant. Back to the army again. Spiky, spiky. Lemon tumble dryers kicked off. Back to the army again, sergeant. Back to the army again. So sad. Tell me this and tell me that and tell me how's your soul? I was thinking Mr. Atkins when the drums begin to roll. When the drums begin to roll, when the drums begin to roll. I was thinking Mr. Atkins when the drums begin to roll. We ain't nothing regular, sweet like the laggards too. Just humble folks in uniform, remarkable like you. Wonderful you're conducting all our fancy pants. Those single men in barracks don't grow into plasticines. Well, it's Tommy this and Tommy that and Tommy how's your soul? I was thinking Mr. Atkins when the drums begin to roll. Let's tell me this and tell me that and tell me your way. Let's tell me Mr. Atkins when the drums begin to play. Turn that tumble dryer off, it's driving me up the wall. When the drums begin to play, when the drums begin to play. Let's thank you, Mr. Atkins, when the drums begin to play. What am I doing? I'm making a holly reef. That's what I'm doing. I'll show you in a second. Once I've attached this bauble. Normally carve stuff, but I thought I'd go out the woods, gather some materials and make a holly reef to go on the front door. It's nothing special. I'm not brilliant at this sort of crafty stuff. I normally do stuff like this. Normally make spoons. There you go. There's one of my spoons that I made. There's another one of my spoons that I made. Normally doing stuff like that, but because it's getting near Christmas, I want to make the front garden look nice and get the big tree out there and cover it in lights, and the kids appreciate it. So, but yeah, got to try and grab the cheers, man. I do a lot of carving. I do faces as well. I carve like wood spirits into things, and there you go. There's a wood spirit that I carved. There's another one. But at the moment, I've been up the woods. If you look at one of my videos, one of my later videos, I spend the day in the woods and I collect all these materials to make a Well, they look so good. Cheers, man. Thank you. I did one out. I made one out of a Christmas tree about a week ago. Look at that. Look. That was made out of one of my neighbours last year when they threw their Christmas tree out. I made that, so I'm going to saw it up so it's a bit smaller, and I'm going to give it to them and say, "Here you go. That was your Christmas tree." I make walking sticks, all sorts of things. I was making it up, just straighten and fire hardening this piece of coppice. This was a tree branch basically, and I've heated it up and straightened it out, and I'm making an arrow out of it because I made a longbow, and I want to make a Neolithic arrow, Mesolithic arrow. Sorry, I've made the flint tip to go in it. I just need to get some fletching, but one of my mates is an archer, and he said he's got some laying around in his garage. But yeah, there's my holly reef that I'm making, which should look alright when it's done, hopefully. Just got some little baubles to put on there, and I think that's going to be it, because I've had enough of my hands being spiked to pieces. It's mad. The other day I'm making a big wooden chopping board for my brother, so I got it's in one of my videos. I went up the woods. There was a big ash tree that come down, so we cut a massive section out of it, and then I split it with forest wedge, split it open, split it into a board, and I was planing it, and a splinter went right up my thumbnail, inside my thumbnail, and one of these little prickles on here hurts more than that. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, it hurt a bit, but it's just sort of like a occupational hazard, as they say. You know, it happens. It happens all the time. Well, not all the time. About once a year I do myself some serious damage, but to my hands. I mean, I can't feel my left thumb. I stuck a carpentry gouge and it went like into my thumb like that, right into the bone. That hurt. Well, say it hurt, it cut the nerve in my thumb, so it was completely numb, but it was uncomfortable, to say the least. But you always do stuff like that, you know, when you're working with big sharp tools and stuff like that, and cut yourself and injure yourself. Not as bad as when I was younger, or when I first started. You sort of get a knack for it after a while, you know, make sure everything's going that way and not this way. How's my day been? My day's been alright actually. I was a bit knackered this morning, but I seem to have come more alive as the day's gone on. It's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Got my sharpening stones back off my mate so I can sharpen all my knives up again, because they were getting pretty blunt. This is annoying. Oh, there we go. Someone else I made this little wooden drinking cup. It's called a cookser. There we go. Cookser drinking cup. Like the bushcraft ones. I made that out of spalted sycamore, that was. The old spalted sycamore. Quite like working with sycamore actually. It's quite a good wood to carve. Oh, I can't see the comments now. There we go. Move. See, he just spiked me again. Getting spiked. Trying to get everything ready for Christmas, because it's that month now where everything's a bit starts going a bit Christmassy. I know people do it extra early in this day and age, but I don't. I'll wait. You know, I'll put the tree up at the weekend, sort of thing, and I won't do it as soon as December comes or in November. I can't get my head around it. You do it too early, and I think it just ruins it, because you know you've got your Christmas decorations up for 2 months. It's just a bit too much, really, just for one day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like Christmas, but when it's been Christmas for 2 months solid, it gets a bit... By the time it's Christmas Day, you're like, oh, for that of it now. I want it to finish. Let's tie that one off there. Yeah, it does get a bit too much, doesn't it? It's just... As I say, I do love Christmas. I like it. I love the festival season and the festive season, as they say. But I find it can just be... You know, come on, guys. You know, one of my mates put his bloody Christmas tree up in November. I was like, how'd you put up with it? You know, I've got 4 kids. There's no way I'd put my tree up in November. It's like having kittens. You know, they just destroy everything. There's no way I'd have my tree up, especially with the little ones, because all they want to do is grab stuff off of it, you know. Yeah, they're annoying. I mean, when my middle child was little, all the decorations were on top of the tree and not on the bottom where he couldn't reach them, because he just used to rip them off and throw them across the room. Absolute nightmare. My moustache keeps going up my nose, it's driving me wild. A few baubles on there. One more, I think. One more shiny one. I'll put a big one at the bottom, and it should be good. I need to carry on with my chopping board. Problem is, it's a fresh piece of ash and it's starting to crack. But what I'll do is I'll leave it and see how it cracks, and then I'll bore it out a bit and put a little bit of epoxy in there. I don't really like using epoxy, but I will on this one if I have to. As for my brother, he was saying to my mum the other day he can't find a decent chopping board, and I said to her, I said, don't tell him, we'll have it as a surprise, but I'll make him a big thick, like 2-inch thick ash chopping board for his kitchen, which would be nice. But it's just started to crack, which is annoying. But I might put some oil on it later, and that might slow it down a bit. But eventually, it's going to go anyway. So let's try and balance this on here without tearing myself to pieces. You know, it's all well and good making all these natural Christmas decorations out of holly and coppice and ivy, and I was going to get some pine cones, but I don't think I'll bother because it would be a bit too busy. But it's all good doing all this, but then just absolutely mullers your hands, Ollie. They all look really fun to do. Yeah, it is good to do. It does keep you on your toes. Where's my walking stick? There we go. Made a walking stick as well with a barley twist on it. It's sort of like the spoons, but it's more like dough, like twisted dough, like bread. But the old barley twist on the walking stick. Oh, there goes the tumble dryer again. Nothing heroes, we ain't no laggards too. Just humble folks in uniform, remarkable like you. Wonderful of conduct in all your fancy paints. Our single men in barracks don't grow into plaster saints. Well, it's Tommy this and Tommy that, and Tommy, how's your soul? There's thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. When the drums begin to roll, me boys. When the drums begin to roll. There's thin red line of heroes when the drums begin to roll. Oh, that needs trimming. I'd have if I had a sharp pair of scissors instead of a pair of nail scissors, but that's what I found and that's what I'm going to use. That should do it. That should do it. Nothing exciting today, nothing too hectic. Hey, spiky! I've got a big bit of leather on my lap so I don't spike myself. Ow! It likes getting there. Oh, spin it round, spin round that way. There we go. Don't look that good really, to be fair, but it'll do, it'll do. Now I wonder if we can hang that on the door or not. Have I got a knocker on my door? I can't remember. It looks alright on a white background. Let's put it up here. That'll do. Scratch myself a bit. Need to get the Christmas tree down, which is going to be fun. Any more jobs I can do? Any more for any more? Got a piece of coppers here I'll start carving. I've got to carve that. I made his nose too big so I can just carve that and chop it down and make something good out of it. Where's my knife? Cement blocks don't grow into plaster saints. Here's my little open nail knife. Open nail. If you ever want to make a knife really sharp, get yourself a piece of leather. Keep seeing those silly knife roller things that people are selling to sharpen your knife with, and just end up putting a double bevel on your knife and ruining it. Especially something like this. That's what we want. We want it sharp-ish. And there's a little bit more. Fresh bit of paper will probably do its trick. Alright mate, how's it going? I just finished making my holly wreath. That's still not sharp enough, it's tearing. Why are you tearing, you bastard? Where's my jeweller's rouge? Oh, I bet that's gone to the wind. Just giving my little knife a strop, throwing a wobbly. That's a bit better. Why is it catching on there? Oh, I see, there's a little bit of a blunt spot. Still catching. Might have to finally get this on the stone, I think. No, that's good. That is good as gold. Let's sharpen off the carve with anyway. Oh, this hazel's tough. Very well seasoned piece of wood. Some folks in uniform, remarkable like you. Wonderful my conduct and all your fancy games. Let's sing them down the palace and grow into plasticines. Make sure the lock's on properly, otherwise I'll end up cutting my fingies, which I don't really want to do. That was a bad idea. Hey man, how's it going? What I'm working on? I'm working on I'm carving another one of these, similar to that, but I'm doing it in hazel. So I've started. I made his moustache a bit too low and there's too much gap between his cheek and his beard, so I'll just shave that bit off because it don't matter really. You can just sort of start again with these things because they got to be quite deep anyway, so it don't matter if you just mark out the surface. What's the difference in hazelwood and pine? Well, this is pine. I don't know if you can see me just peeling through it. That's pine. Very lots of resin in it. Spits a lot when you burn it. Leaks when you cut it. It's soft. It's not actually a, well, it is a softwood because the misconception between softwood and hardwood is that hardwood are deciduous trees and softwood are pine trees or coniferous trees. So it's nothing to do with how hard or soft they are. So that's the common misconception. So people always get a bit confused when you say it's a softwood, and it could be rock hard, you know. When you say it's a hardwood and it could be really soft, but yeah, and this is a lot tougher. Grain, isn't it? Yeah, man. Yeah, tightness of grain, where it's grown, whether its leaves fall off in the summer or winter decides whether it's a hardwood or a softwood, technically, anyway. Yeah. Hazel's a beautiful. Hazel's what? I don't know if it's. Oh, it's more durable. Yeah, yeah. But then some of the pine trees don't rot as much because they've got loads of resin in them, loads of tannins. So they've all got their perks. Hazel, like we made a hazel fence about a year ago in the woods, and it's just started to crumble. So got about a year out of it. It all depends on the conditions as well. You know, like where my mate's forest is, it's an ancient woodland, so it's everything just dissolves there. You know, except for the oak. I mean, there's oak trees that have fallen probably about 100 years ago, and they look rotten on the outside, and you cut through them with a chainsaw, and they're solid on the inside. So they're the good ones. They're the ones for carving. I've got one in my shed actually that I should really dig out and try and split. Problem is I don't have a saw where I can cut it into planks, so I have to split it, which is why I like using ash, because ash, I mean, I'll show you like how ash splits. It splits really well because it's a really straight grain to it. The oak isn't. But that's an ash chopping board that I'm working on. Now that hasn't been sawn. That was a big metal forest wedge in the top. If you watch my latest video, you'll see me do it. But the only problem with that is it's starting to crack. It's got a crack there, which is annoying. I'm making this for my brother. It's going to be a chopping board. But as long as the crack ain't too bad, I can fill it with polymer or epoxy or whatever it's called, and then just crack on with it. Or if not, cut it down there and just make a smaller chopping board. But he was after a big chunky one, so I was up the woods. Big ash tree come down. So that's what I took. Ash makes really good firewood as well. It burns really well. But for instance, this is a small piece of oak, I know, but that's a piece of oak, and as you can see, it just doesn't split the same. It goes all over the place sometimes, which is annoying. So you're better off milling it, and I don't have a saw to mill it. But yeah, I finished my holly wreath. There she blows. It's got a few baubles in it and stuff. Let's try and stop it from spinning around because I don't want to smash my hands to pieces again. But we'll see how it goes. I need to get the Christmas tree out. Oh, it's going on the front door, that one. And I've got to put a big tree out. I've got a big, massive, like 8-foot Christmas tree, and I'll put that out the front and pin it to the ground with paracord, and then put loads of lights on it, so we have a big Christmas tree outside the front as well. Got a cherry tree in my garden. Will it be good? Take some nice pieces off, letting them dry for a year. It's covered in resin. I think it has an issue. Oh, they do leak. It might have something wrong with it. I know they can get issues. I'm not really an expert on fruit trees. I'm more sort of like your forest deciduous trees. But cherry's really good for carving. Makes really nice spoons out of it. This is cherry. That's cherry. If you look at the colour of it, and the heartwood going down the middle. If you're going to let it dry, put it in a shed somewhere. Because this fella here, as you can see by the bark, that's a chunk of cherry, and I started carving a face into it. Yeah, it's nice grain, man. But as soon as I brought it inside, it started to split. But luckily enough, it split up the side of the face, so it's not actually messing with the carving. So that'll be all right to finish off. Actually, I need to do that. Once it's seasoned, it's rock hard. It's really hard to carve. But if your knives and tools, keep your knives and tools nice and sharp. It won't cause you a problem. It's really not that bad. But yeah, cherry's really nice. Any fruit tree really makes really good spoons and cups and carvings, whatever you really want to carve out of it. To be honest with you, and like I'd recommend like ash for like tool handles and spoons and stuff like that. It's really good. It's good for burning. It makes really good firewood. It's good for making charcoal as well. They actually used to use ash, make charcoal from ash for gunpowder back in the day. That's why there was a lot of ash copses around. Really want to make a walking stick. My first project. Haven't done anything yet. Just doing the research. Hazel. Go and find a hazel coppice rotation and nick a bit of coppice off of it. Dry it out. You can leave it indoors. It don't really crack. It's just a really good wood for this. This is hazel walking stick. Hazel's really decent. It was traditionally used to make it like wattle and daub, wattle fences, weaving, you know, fence posts, all sorts of things. It is quite durable. I was thinking of getting a hazel stick off eBay actually. Just a blank. Just go out the woods, mate. Go and find a hazel coppice rotation and just saw a bit off. Make sure it's nice and low to the ground. And take that, man, because the hazel's quite a prolific tree. I don't know what part of the country you're in actually, but I mean it's fairly straight as well. This is just a small piece of coppice, very thin. I'm drawing this out to make a bow drill. This piece. Oh, I don't know about Yorkshire, but down the south it's absolutely everywhere. We've got whole forests of hazel, but I'm making, this is going to be a fire drill, but that's what I made this out of. This is I'm making a couple of arrows for my bow, and this is the straightened piece that I made, which is basically just looks like a big dowel. But you can see where I fire hardened it, and the good thing about it is you can heat it up over a fire and then straighten it with your hands. It takes ages. Straighten it out so it's nice and straight, and when it cools down it stays straight and it hardens. Actually makes the wood a bit weaker, but it don't matter for an arrow really, to be honest with you. I'll do it with walking sticks as well. I'll fire harden and straighten walking sticks, some of them, if they're not the right shape. But normally if you find a decent bit of coppice, you can cut whatever you want. I'll have a look into it. You can make a steamer pretty easily. I was thinking of making one for the walking stick. Yeah, you can. Yeah. I know the ancient way of doing it as well, where you get a big pit, you dig a big trough in the ground, and you make a big fire in it, and then you get loads and loads of wet straw, and you put the wet straw on top of it, and then you put the stick on top of the wet straw, and you put wet straw over the top of that, and it just steams the life out of the stick, and you can bend it. That's a really old way of doing it. But you can make steamers, just like a box, bit of conduit, like a conduit box, over a big pot, and a steamer run through it, and yeah, you can steam sticks. Make a board with pegs in. You can bend it in different shapes and stuff like that. Hammer the pegs in so they're nice and tight. Leave it to cool down, and it will stay in that shape. It works really well, especially with hazel. Hazel's a really good one to do that. Oh, cool. I bet that would be a fun project to do. Yeah, it would be actually. I've got a place where I can do it, thinking about it. I just need to get some straw. There's a stream in my mate's woods, so I wouldn't have to worry about the water. I'll just have to, maybe I can have a word with one of the farmers that backs onto my mate's woods. Got a couple of bundles, just a couple of big handfuls of straw that I can nick. That'd be good. I'll give him a spoon or something. Nick, I'll swap you a spoon for some straw. Yeah, just wet it down. I don't know if you've ever watched that. It's a historical program. They're all on YouTube. They did one called Tales of the Green Valley, where a load of historians lived on a farm that was from 800 years ago, and they were only allowed to use the technology from 800 years ago, and they run the farm basically, and it's really good. And then they did one called Edwardian Farm, and then one called Victorian Farm, where they literally stay on the farm and it's all done with old stuff basically. And I got that idea from there actually originally. Watched that when I was a kid, if I remember rightly, when I was a teenager. That's really good program to watch actually. It's really decent. I'm gonna have to sort myself out because I started chatting. My missus will be back soon. I'll probably come back on later and sharpen my knives, I think. Yeah, I'll have a look. I've saved it. Yeah, it's good, man. It's really, really good. The Tales of the Green Valley's wicked because it's, you know, it was just when the plough was invented, and the plough they've got's made out of wood, and they can't get it to dig into the soil, and they're using oxen to pull it and all this stuff. It's really, really interesting. The Edwardian farm one's good because they find an old lime kiln and they burn lime, and yeah, that's pretty cool because I have to put lime on the fields because it's too acidic, the soil, because it's granite. Where they are is a lot of granite, so it makes the soil acidic. So they need to put some lime on it so they can grow like peas and potatoes in there. Don't kill off the crops. But it's very, very, very interesting program. Very, very interesting. Really, really good. And they like go out trapping animals and stuff. I like stuff like that. Forgotten info. Super interesting. Yeah, it's wicked. I remember when I was about 17, my mum got me this big book, and it's all the old ways that they used to do things in the countryside, like making the hay ricks and all that. It's really, really good. Yeah, the old ways are awesome, man. There's something about it, you know. Like I could get that. I could make something like that with a Dremel in probably about half an hour. It wouldn't take me long at all with a Dremel, but they're too noisy. It's too quick. There's no like, I don't, you know, there's skill involved in it, you know, obviously, but you know, I much prefer like my antique gouge and just hammering away at it, you know, using a knife or something like that. It's just got a better feel to it, you know. When I was a little kid, my granddad used to take me to this working museum that's round here, and it's called the Wealden Down Open Air Museum. And it's basically what it was is, years ago this builder was in a town and they were knocking down an old schoolhouse, and it was about 200-300 years old, and he's like, what are you going to do with that? And they're like, we're just going to smash it up and turn it to rubble. And he's like, well, you know, you can't do that. He goes, can I have, if me and my team of builders come in, can we dismantle it and can we have it? And they're like, yeah, if you want. So he got hold of it, and he got hold of I think it was Lord March, and there goes my washing machine. He got hold of Lord March, and he said, can I use a bit of your land to put this old house on? And he was like, why? And he was like, well, because they're going to get rid of it, and I just think it would be a waste to get rid of it, you know, and destroy it. So can I do it? And he said, yeah, go on then. So he got this old house, and he put it on there, this old schoolhouse, and he just went from there really, and he just kept getting more and more houses, and eventually it turned into like a living, working museum where they got like Tudor houses, Victorian houses, all these random houses in the South Downs, in the hills, everywhere. And now it's like a big place where people go and walk around. They've got all the old tools. They have people up there with steam engines processing logs. They have people burning they're doing the old way of burning charcoal, where you make the big log pile and cover it in moss and all that sort of stuff. And my granddad used to take me there when I was from about the age of about 3 years old. So I've just sort of been obsessed with it all ever since I was a kid. So that's a good idea, definitely. Yeah, too right, man. Yeah, you got to have some wedge, haven't you? Have a collection of old houses, but you can look it up. I think they're on YouTube. The Wealden Down Open Air Museum, and in West Sussex, next to Goodwood Racecourse, which is probably about a 20-minute drive from me. Well, I say 20 minutes with the traffic nowadays, probably about 3 hours. But it's a really cool place to go. I'll take my kids there and everything. It's just nice. Have a look into it. Yeah, definitely, man. The Wealden Down Open Air Museum in Singleton it is. Funny little village. There's only about 3 houses there. But there's a big college there as well called East Dean College, or is it West Dean? I can never remember which one's which. West Dean, I think. Thinking about it. Yeah, it's in the west, so saved it. Yeah, man, it's decent, man. Oh, bloody washing machine sounds like an old tank rolling over the hill. It's going for it. Well, I'm going to jump off because I've got to dig out a Christmas tree and find some things to put on it and all that rubbish. Well, I'll wait for the kids. I'll let the kids decorate it. But nice talking to you, man. I'm going to jump off now. I'll see you later. Enjoy yourself.